think that your film met a lot of conventions of a thriller film because it had darker lighting and there was a solid hero and villain character, and the music was quite ominous in the background and lasted throughout the whole thing, which could lead to jump scares maybe. I did think that, especially at the beginning, there was a bit of a slow pace to the film, that the camera shots were a bit on the basic side, so it could have been made more complex.
The thing I'd say it could improve is that it could maybe include a little bit more sound in it, I suppose, sound effects. At the moment it's got a lot of drone, which is effective, but I suppose to add a little bit more dramatic effect, it could have a little bit more sound in it. But other than that, I think it's a great film. Yeah.
Overall, I think your film did meet a lot of the conventions. It was very thriller-esque. It had a lot of like intense moments, and it really, especially towards the end, I really felt intrigued with the story and what was happening. And it's got the conventions of knives. It's got like imagery of thriller films and murder and death and other kind of like themes and tones of thriller films. It definitely felt like a psychological kind of supernatural kind of thriller, and I think thriller tone, and I think it just really works really well. There are some things to improve on though. I think you need to go to the bulk of the story quicker. I felt like most of it was just shots of animals for a decent chunk of it, and while it did look it was really well directed, and it did help to build to that kind of lasting tone, I think it only really works in a proper feature-length film. Otherwise you don't have enough time getting to the meat of the story, and the only bit of the story that really started to get intriguing was like towards the last 2 minutes, where suddenly was like, okay, the girl's going to bed, oh no, wait a minute, she's going to murder the mum or whatever. And that's when the storyline actually started to get intense and actually started to push forwards. So overall I thought it was really good, but I just think you need to get to the narrative quicker. I think the narrative took too long to come, and then when it finally did come, it was really satisfying, but I just wish I could see more of it. It kind of left you on a cliffhanger as well, and I just think, especially for a short thriller film, I think that's a massive convention. I think a load of thriller films, kind of supernatural thriller films, psychological thriller films, leave you on cliffhangers now, and I think that's really met that convention. So overall, I thought it was really good, but you just need to get to the bulk of the narrative quicker.
Yeah, I like your final film a lot. I like the tension that builds throughout, with the slow start and then the eerie end to it, and it's a very obvious power struggle within this narrative as well, created through the exposure between the characters. So obviously between the older character and the young child who's evil, it's very evident and obvious and made explicit that this is the power struggle of the film. So it's good to understand early on from the audience perspective. And then I also like the way you edited it with putting on the colour correction effects. So when you bring up the reds in it quite a lot, or you even darken the tones in certain scenes, it really, as I said, creates the eerie thriller atmosphere. Even though I like the slow start, I do know that some people aren't always totally engaged by this type of start to a film, or even a slow, methodical plot type of film, so that might be an issue, something you could improve on in future films. But I think for this one and your actual concept, it works very well, because it contradicts the typical stereotype you would have for the child, who would be very hyperactive. And yeah, that's the main sort of points I could really add to your film. I mean, everything else was very good, like the music, the acting, the camera work, but these are the main standout points I could mention.
Okay, so after watching the film, I thought it was really good with the amount of camera shots that were included in it as well. Just the start of the film, it gradually built up tension, gives the audience something to work on with all the drawings, all the pictures, so it gradually builds up suspense with the music. I like the way it also portrays the little girl with the drawings as well. That's usually a convention in a typical thriller film, and also the lighting as well that changes to red is an effective way to build tension in the film as well.